Hi guys, we are almost at back to school time and have I got a great craft for you today. I'm going to be showing you how to make these adorable pocket hug key rings. Let's jump in. Starting school can be a really nerve-wracking time, whether that is reception or even for the younger ones at preschool, and sometimes they just need a little bit of comfort and reassurance of home. That's why I think that these are a wonderful idea. They can just attach them to their bag or book bag or whatever, and if they're feeling a little bit homesick, they can go and have a little peek. So being able to personalise them with their photo and name just adds that extra level, and again, if you're making these for somebody tiny in your life, they can even help you design them. So for today's craft, I have been kindly sponsored by Paper Cutz, and I'm going to be using their 115 GSM inkjet glossy paper. This stuff is fantastic. I have tried so many different kinds of paper and photo paper in my badge press. This one has never let me down. It's thin enough to wrap around without jamming the press, and the colours are always beautiful and vibrant. You're going to need whatever press that you have. My one is from ebadges, but obviously there are different ones available on the market. All the instructions that I give today will be for my ebadges one. You're also going to need the Keyring blank set. This one is 58mm and fits my badge press. Again, each different badge press will have different manufactured blanks. You just need to make sure that whatever one you're using with yours is compatible. For designing, I'm going to be using Canva, and for cutting, I'm going to be using Silhouette Studio. This isn't absolutely necessary. You can cut these out by hand if you prefer, but I prefer the cutter because it's quicker. And obviously you're going to need a printer, and as always I'll be using my Canon IP8750. So let's head over to Canva to get designing. Okay, so in Canva we're going to create a document that is custom sized and 7 by 7 centimeters. You might need to change the units from pixels to centimeters. Once we have this, we are going to go over to elements, and I'm going to search for a circle frame, and then we're going to position, lock the ratio aspect, and we're going 7 by 7, and then we're going to centrally align it to the page. And before we move on, I'm going to look for the background, and I would like notebook paper for this, and we're searching in the photo section. Once you've found one that you like, you can fill your design, and we are going to go for a circle shape next. And this is usually in the actual shapes. There we go. Back to position, and this one needs to be 5.8, as this is the size of your finished keyring front. We're turning the stroke onto 1, and we are turning off the inner circle colour, and we are then going to position. Everything needs to fall in and stay within this circle here. Nothing should go over it, otherwise it will get cut off. So first up, I am going to look for a regular circle frame, and this one should be quite good. I'm going to resize and then centrally align again. Now ordinarily you would upload your own photo, but I don't have one, as I am just doing this as an example to show you. Definitely wouldn't want to be sharing any customer photos, so I'm just going to select one and insert it. Okay, so I'm going to double click to adjust the aspect there to make sure I'm happy. That's perfect. We're now going to add some text, and I'm going to put a little hug. I'm not happy with the font, so I'm going to go to the font selector and change it to one that I would like. Definitely going to increase the size there as well. It looks a bit strange having it straight across, so we're going to move it roughly into position. And then we're going to use the effects tools to create a curve. So this will take a bit of playing around till I'm happy. That's quite good there. And I'm going to change the colour, I think, to this blue, because that goes really nicely with the background. But to help it pop a little bit more, we're going back to effects and we're going to outline. I'm just going to create that black, but bring it down to about 33. I would like some more text on the bottom, so another text box. And we are going to use the effects again, but this time we need the curve to face the opposite way. So we are going to put a minus in front of it.
This definitely needs to be adjusted, so just use the sliders if you need to. Make sure it's in the middle, which it is. And I'm also going to change up the colour. I quite like this orange here, that goes well. And we're going to create the outline again and use exactly the same colour. And put that down to 33 as well. Now this looks a little plain, so I'm going to add some elements, and I'm going to write in here school doodles to see what Canva will come up with. And we're selecting graphics because they are usually much easier to change the colours of. So this guy here is really cute, this little pencil. So I'm going to have a play around with the orientation. I'm quite happy with that. And let's have some star doodles on the other side. So that's really cute. I'm going to flip it. Now obviously these lines here are intersecting with the cute little family image. So if you go to position, you can move it backwards and then that will just get rid of them. Still going to adjust the orientation. And now that's done, I'm actually going to adjust the star colours. So this grey one, we're going to go for blue. For the yellow, we're going to use this one here. And for the pink, I'm going to use this one up here. I'm then going to do exactly the same with the pencil so that everything looks like it is matching. And once you're happy with the design, we need to remove that middle circle, go to share, download, ping, and make sure you have transparent background turned on. And now we're going to head over to Silhouette. Okay, so we are back in Silhouette, and I'm actually going to cut this on A5 rather than the standard A4 because it makes your paper or your media go a bit further. First up, we need to turn on the registration marks. So I always like the length to be at maximum along with the thickness, but I then move the inset back because it gives you more space to be able to work from. We're now going to go over to the circle tool shape, and I'm going to create a circle that is 7 centimeters. And as that's locked, I only need to do the one side. I'm then going to select both of these and align them. So I always like to do at least one spare just in case, but we're now ready to print. So go to File and Print, and then obviously we need to select your printer. If you select Preferences, you'll be able to give a more detailed breakdown of the settings. So for mine, I'm going for photo printing. Borderless printing must be off, and it's glossy photo paper. We're going to A5 and obviously high quality.
So once it's all printed out and is all dry, it's going to look something like this. And we're going to head over to Silhouette. You'll need to play with your own settings, but mine is cut obviously, and then it's a force of 23, a speed of 4, passes of 2, line segment overcut is on, and a blade depth of 3. Now before you remove this cutting mat, it's always a good idea to check that it's cut through, so you can recut if not. That is perfect, so going to unload and peel those off. A little trick, a little tip for you: if you flip the board over and then peel them that way, they won't curve up just quite so much. So to create your keyring, you're going to need your badge press. These instructions are for the ebadges one. If your one isn't an ebadge, then you'll need to refer to your own manufacturer guidelines. So we are going to be needing the horseshoe spacer for this one, which I just need to grab. Okay, so obviously this is called a horseshoe spacer because it looks like a horseshoe. Now we need to pop it into our machine, and you can see there is a gap just at the bottom there. So you need to make sure that the gap in the horseshoe spacer lines up. And we are then going to go through everything else you'll need, which is obviously your design. You're going to need your backing plate, the keyring embellishment itself, and some mylar. So first things first, we're bringing this part round, which is the grid, which is the bit with the circle groove cut out. So we're going to pop that in and the design face up. And it's really important that you make sure you've only got one sheet of the mylar, otherwise it will jam up your machine. And we are going to put that ring on there. And first of all, it goes in what we call the top hat position, because it looks like a little top hat. So swing that round and very firmly press the lever. Now we need to feed the key ring back in through the gap like so. And now I like to maneuver the press round so that I can take off this bit here and make sure that it is lined up with the top of the keyring. We're then going to flip this into the mushroom position because it looks like a little mushroom. Place it on top and firmly press again. Now hopefully, if all goes according to plan, we should have a lovely cute little keyring. So there we go, keyring's finished. So here is the finished design, and I think that looks really cute. If you didn't want to go with the school theming, obviously Canva has got so many different elements that you could totally make your own. How about a cute little jungle theme, which is personalised with the little guy's name as well, or maybe even this adorable unicorn design here. You literally can do anything that you would like. Canva is fantastic. It has got so many elements both on the free account and the pro account that the only limit is really your imagination. So obviously, although they're key rings, these are designed to just go onto backpacks or book bags. I actually had Chibi Jr. with a standard key ring with just photos of the family when she started preschool because she was very nervous and I was nervous, and I didn't have the badge maker back then, but I know that she would have loved a dinosaur themed one like this or a jungle themed one as well. I'm not gonna lie, I did have her in mind when I designed the jungle design. They also make fantastic gifts, or if you're going to sell them, then this would be a great way to actually package them. I'll drop a card here for a video that I did using the Paper Cutz 300 GSM cardstock showing you how I send my badges. This is a good alternative. You just need to punch 2 holes at the top. So I really hope that you have enjoyed today's video and that you found it useful and informative. Drop a comment down below if you've made it to the end of the video, and just drop me a little emoji of a green heart. If you have any comments or questions, then of course let me know. You can either comment directly on the video or just drop me a message over on Instagram. I would love to know if there's any other videos that you would like me to see, any crafts or DIYs that you would like some guidance on trying. I film videos every Friday and I really love listening to your feedback. It helps the channel grow. Don't forget to like the video if you've enjoyed it, share it with a crafty friend, and if you haven't already, then definitely subscribe. A great big thank you to our sponsor today, Paper Cutz. I have provided links to all of the equipment and materials that I've used in the description box down below. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye!